What mysteries do the Nazca civilization, creators of enigmatic wonders like this, still hide? The Peruvian coast is a gigantic desert, despite being located in tropical America. The Andes mountain range, which borders it to the east, and the Pacific Ocean, which borders it to the west, create this condition. Despite this, the many rivers that descend from the mountain range to the coast cut across sections of the vast desert, generating oasis-like valleys where highly complex societies developed throughout Peru's ancient history. Flourishing between 200 BC and 600 AD, Nazca is the name by which we know today one of the most famous pre-Columbian cultures in the entire Andes, renowned worldwide for its fine polychrome pottery and the impressive and enigmatic lines and figures drawn on the plains of Palpa and San Jose. The Nazca culture had its main center of development in the Nazca River basin. The Nazca were contemporary with and later surpassed by the Paracas culture, and many sites of this culture have been discovered beneath Nazca settlements. Politically, the Nazca civilization has been described as a collection of chiefdoms that occasionally acted in unison out of mutual interest rather than as a single state unit. Or as M.E. Mosley has put it, individuality with cultural coherence but without integrated or large-scale power were the Nazca traces. This interpretation is reinforced by Nazca art and architecture, which show common themes across settlements, but at the same time, there is a general lack of uniformity in urban planning or evidence of centralization. The maximum population of the Nazca has been estimated at 25,000 people, scattered throughout small villages that were typically built on terraced slopes near irrigated floodplains. The tombs, sometimes located below 4.5 meters deep and accessible through a shaft, are the richest sources of Nazca artifacts and reveal many aspects of their culture. Fine pottery and textiles were burned with the dead, and no particular distinction was made between male and female burials. The deceased were mummified, carefully wrapped in textiles, and often placed in a sitting position. Skulls sometimes show deliberate elongation, and we know that the Nazca used tattoos. Founded around 100 BC, Kawachi, on the south bank of the Nazca River, 50 kilometers inland, was a pilgrimage site and religious capital of the Nazca. It was likely initially considered sacred because it was one of the few locations with a guaranteed year-round water supply. The lack of domestic architecture indicates that it was used as a habitation site. The largest mound, known as the Great Temple, is over 20 meters high. All mounds have an adjacent plaza and are crowned by mud brick walls. The textile scenes also suggest that religious gatherings were connected with harvest festivals, and the trash piles, mostly pottery fragments, indicate ritual celebrations. This trash was deliberately left there so that it would become part of the mound. Consequently, the longer the mound, the more it had been used in rituals. There are further details of the religious ceremonies that may have taken place at Kawachi, depicted in Nazca art, especially on pottery, and many are scenes involving shamans. These religious figures, in a drug-induced trance, appealed to nature spirits to ensure favorable conditions for abundant agriculture. Music was an important part of these rites, as evidenced by ceramic drums and pan flutes in the archaeological record. The principal Nazca god appears to have been the Eyed One, who is depicted in art as a flying deity, wearing ropes of trophy heads. He is often depicted on pottery and textile designs in a horizontal position with serpents flowing from his body. Other characteristic features include large, staring eyes and a snaking tongue. The Nazca drew geoglyphs and crosslines surrounding deserts and hills. These were stylized drawings of animals, plants, and humans, or simple lines connecting sacred sites or marking water sources. Their exact purpose is debated, but the most widely held theory is that they were designed as paths. to be walked on in religious rites and processions. These ancient lines were made remarkably easily and quickly by removing the dark, rusty surface of rocks, which lay closely scattered across the colorful, light pampa soil. Most designs are only visible from the air, but some were made on hills and are visible from the ground. The lines could be single, straight or curved, or in groups, and could intersect one another in complicated networks. Width and length can vary. One of the longest straight lines is 20 kilometers long, and the combined length of the Nazca lines has been estimated at around 1,300 kilometers. The lines that used to describe a specific shape are generally composed of a single continuous line. The designs could be geometric shapes or animals such as a hummingbird, a spider, and even a killer whale. There were also trees, plants, and flowers, as well as human figures. The Nazca have earned a reputation for great artistry, and their finely crafted pottery is an excellent example. Vessels were thin-walled and could take a wide variety of shapes. Distinctive shapes included double-spouted containers with a single handle, and generally bulbous vessels without a flat bottom or base. Plates, cups, jars, effigy drums, and pan flutes were also common. There were also vessels shaped like human heads, no doubt inspired by the Nazca practice of taking trophy heads in battle. Influenced by the early designs of the Paracas culture, Nazca ceramic vessels were decorated with combinations before firing to produce a wide range of vividly rendered patterns depicting gods, shamanic images, crustaceans, condors, monkeys, and shape-shifting mythical creatures, especially felines. The Nazca continued to create a unique style and designs that ranged from the naturalistic to the highly ornamented and then to highly abstract forms. Brown, light purple, and bluish gray were favored color choices, but a very wide range was used, even greater than in any other ancient Andean culture. Backgrounds were usually white, red, or black. Outlining figures in black was another feature and another example of the Nazca delight in line design. The Nazca, like many South American cultures, were fond not only of wool weaving and embroidery, but also of painting plain cotton with an array of colorful images and motifs. The textiles have survived remarkably well, thanks to the extremely dry climate, and show that Nazca weavers possessed the full range of Andean techniques and employed an impressive range of colors and shades that produced intricate and detailed designs. Figures were especially popular in the designs and were often depicted participating in harvest scenes depicting foodstuffs such as corn and beans. Animal figures, similar to those in geoglyphs and ceramic designs, were also a popular subject. Looms, spindles, needles, cotton balls, and dye pots have all been excavated from Nazca sites. Nazca metal workers worked gold into thin sheets that were cut to create silhouettes. They preferred to keep surfaces smooth and reflective. Only a little repoussé work provides economical decoration. The masks they produced were worn over the mouth, and their wearers appeared to have a golden beard and mustache. They also produced masks made entirely of gold, with feathered hair and ornaments for the nose and forehead. These golden masks transformed the face of their wearers and recall the transformation ceremonies performed by shamans, a popular theme in Nazca art.